Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Nate Ebner and here with me are my friends and colleagues Will Ebner and Grace Smith. Today we'll be discussing with you the psychology behind creativity and what allows our brains to produce solutions and ideas. In 1920, a scientist and mathematician named Henri Poincaré struggled for weeks to solve a math problem. Every time he set aside time to work on the problem, he just couldn't solve it. Then one day, while taking a stroll, boom! The solution hit him immediately. He wasn't working or even thinking about the problem, it just occurred to him. Moments like this aren't accidents. Psychology helps us understand why creativity works like it does. Creativity isn't just a personality trait that some have. It is a mental process that everyone has. The psychology of creativity shows us that great ideas aren't random strokes of genius, but the result of how our minds make connections, handles problems, and embraces challenges.
So essentially, creativity is the characteristic that allows us to generate original thoughts and ideas. In its earliest form, cavemen used it as a problem-solving and survival skill. They would use creativity to make clothes, tools, and build fires. It also served as a mechanism for symbolic and social reasons, such as creating art like cave paintings, body decorations, and burial rituals. Well, I'm very glad you asked. It is through an immensely complex interplay of neural pathways in the brain. The two most apparent networks are the DMN, the default mode network, and the ECN, the executive control network. Yeah, the default mode network is a large-scale brain network that becomes highly active during wakeful rest and internally directed thought. It integrates memories, language, and personal experience to create a coherent internal narrative. It is essential for constructing a sense of self, feeling empathy, and prediction. The executive control network acts as the brain's command center for goal-directed behavior. The ECN is your external mind, actively managing tasks and manipulating information to solve problems. Now, for example, it actively holds and manipulates information in mind to complete a task, such as remembering a set of instructions while executing them. The ECN also allows us to override impulses or distractions, like the urge to check your phone while working. It gives us the ability to switch our attention between different tasks, break down large-scale goals into manageable steps, and choose between competing options.
High-level creative thinking requires a back and forth but also balanced interaction between voluntary ideas and focused evaluation. Too little interaction leads to unfocused creativity, where there are plenty of ideas but no ability to filter or refine them into something useful. Too much interaction can cause rigid, over-monitored thinking that suffocates the flow of original ideas. The ideal balance occurs when there is a frequent switching between these networks, allowing the brain to fluidly move between generating and evaluating ideas. This interaction is managed by the salience network, which acts as a neural switchboard. It detects which internally generated ideas are useful and then engages the ECN to focus on them, effectively carrying out the switch between the DMN's internal thought and the ECN's external execution. Creativity is highly sensitive to the surrounding environment. Natural elements can restore focus and eliminate distractions, which is necessary for analyzing and refining ideas. Low to moderate ambient noise, like a coffee shop for example, provides a slight distraction that forces the brain to think more abstractly and non-linearly. Recent research has also shown that being in a space with temperatures between 71 to 79 degrees Fahrenheit produces higher divergent thinking, On the other hand, high-stakes situations that penalize mistakes, like standardized tests, high judgment scenarios or environments, and minimalistic environments tend to limit creativity. Nope, absolutely not. While some genetic factors can alter a person's creative tendencies, creativity is not determined at birth. Creativity is developed from practice, knowledge, and a person's surroundings and environment. Having an openness to experience has been identified as one of the strongest traits of creativity. This openness is a mix of being social and curious. This helps people explore new ideas without getting frustrated by confusion or a lack of clear answers. Creative people are also good at balancing opposites. They're imaginative, but also hardworking and lively but very disciplined. Ultimately, their strength is the ability to switch between these different modes, to turn an idea into something that actually works.
Yes, and there are three key phases to this development. Early creativity is driven by figurative play and spontaneous imagination. This stage is during childhood and is critical for practicing divergent thinking, where the brain learns to generate many ideas for one single prompt. The second stage is during adolescence, when social pressure to conform can sometimes temporarily suppress creative expression. The final stage is during adulthood, when creativity typically peaks in late 30s and early 40s. While mental speed may decline with age, qualitative creative abilities often stabilize or even improve. Older adults often have deeper expertise and life experience to create work that is more integrated and meaningful. You can rewire your brain for faster creative growth by engaging in activities that force the development of new neural pathways, also known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire itself, allowing you to level up creativity like a muscle. Engaging in creative hobbies like learning a new language or instrument strengthens the connections between the default mode and executive control networks. Yes, personality plays a big role in how creative a person is. For example, being more perseverant and self-confident allows a person to seek out and create opportunities for creativity even when the environment isn't perfectly supportive. An extrovert, due to their assertive nature, is more likely to voice new ideas and challenge the status quo in social settings. Additionally, being resilient allows an individual to prevent dull environments from stifling their creative potential.
Neuroscientists believe that creative ideas typically begin in one of three ways. The first is the preparation phase. It involves deliberately gathering information, researching a problem, or immersing yourself in a subject. Your brain needs this raw material before it can generate new ideas. The second way is external stimuli. Inspiration often acts as a nudge from the outside world. This can be a conversation, a walk in nature, or something seen on social media. These triggers flick the switch from your normal operational mode into a creative one. The third starting point sometimes happens during what is often referred to as sleeping on it. Ideas frequently pop into your head during moments of low focus activity, like showering, walking, or the edge of sleep. During these times, your default mode network is highly active, connecting distant memories and thoughts into new patterns while your conscious mind is off duty. Yes, creativity can have downsides and create internal conflict. These negatives manifest as overthinking, difficulty focusing, emotional intensity, rule breaking, and conflict with others due to unconventional behaviors. It's a double-edged sword, fueling innovation but also potentially leading to negative traits like impulsivity, antagonism, or psychological distress, requiring balance to prevent it from becoming a burden. Also, creativity is strongly linked to bipolar disorder. Those with bipolar disorders have an enhanced creativity, which is good in some instances and bad in others. A good example of this is Vincent van Gogh, who is believed to have had bipolar disorder. He was a very creative person and a great artist. However, his manic swings led him to cutting his ear off, and many psychotic episodes. The positives and negatives also often meshed, like when he created 70 pieces of artwork in 70 days while he was in a manic state. Creativity greatly helps the mind by improving problem solving, mental health, and idea generation. Even though it can seem confusing because of its conflicting ideas, this tension actually helps create deeper understanding rather than real contradiction.
Ultimately, creativity is not a mysterious gift reserved for a select few, nor is it a random burst of inspiration that appears without cause. Psychology shows that creativity is a dynamic and learnable process that is rooted in how the brain functions. Through the interaction of the default mode network, which generates spontaneous ideas and connections, the executive control network, which evaluates and refines those ideas, and the salience network, which balances the two, the brain is able to transform imagination into meaningful solutions. When we place this scientific understanding alongside the historical evolution of creativity, from a divine power to a shared human ability to a marker of individual ingenuity, it becomes clear that creativity has always been shaped by culture, environment, and experience. Modern psychology reinforces this idea by showing that creativity can grow through practice, openness to experience, supportive environments, and neuroplasticity. Rather than being an accident or contradiction of the mind, creativity is one of its greatest strengths. It allows humans to adapt, innovate, express emotion, and solve complex problems. While creativity can sometimes bring internal conflict and emotional intensity, its benefits far outweigh its challenges. In the end, creativity is not something we wait for, it is something we actively develop, shaped by how we think, learn, and engage with the world around us.